Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Now, it is what is the time? It is 12:32 a.m. East Coast time. Everybody, it's 12:32 a.m. East Coast time. Let me just mute myself because I wanted to make sure that all this was playing okay. All right, so it is 12:32 a.m. East Coast time, and normally I want you folks to know that normally I'm in bed by 10, but I try and go to bed early. I wake up early, get a head start to the day, this, that, and the other. But number one, I was waiting for the results of the Georgia Senate runoff races tonight, and number two, I wanted to share it with our beautiful community. I wanted to share it with all of you. My name, everyone, is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you. Now, I can tell you that by the way, I was waiting for some official numbers to emerge, but I'm going to go ahead and call it because one of the reasons I have reached where I am in life is I've been able to call events, and I'm not scared to call it. I'm not scared to call it, so I'm going to call it. Now, before I make this call, I'm going to tell you that there are 17,000 ballots. There are 17,000 ballots that are going to come in on Friday. These are overseas ballots that are going to come in on Friday. But based on the information that we have right now, at the time I'm recording this, where we have Reverend Raphael Warnock leading by right around 35,000 votes, and where we have at the point I'm recording this video, David Perdue is leading by right around 1,800 votes or something, and these numbers keep changing. But that based on the fact that many of the Democratic counties have still to report, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to go ahead and uh, call the Democrats, that is John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock, as winning these two Senate seats, and the Democrats regaining control of the Senate. I'm going to go ahead and call it based on all of the information we have right now, and this means we are now heading towards we are there is going to be some opposition, but we are heading towards $2,000 stimulus checks. We are heading towards a $15 minimum wage. We are heading towards the decriminalization of marijuana. We are heading towards an attorney general that President-elect Joe Biden will want. And here's the big one: we are heading towards the reduction in the influence of President Trump. Now, for those of you who think that I'm anti-Trump, I'm not really. I'm just calling out things as they are, and I'm too tired to even to even question whether I'm pro-Trump or anti-Trump. I'm just calling out the numbers as I see them, and this is the beginning of the reduction of the influence of President Trump. Is President Trump's influence going to go away completely? No, but I do believe that President Trump is going to get a significant amount of the blame for the reduced voter turnout in the state of Georgia amongst Republicans. And as I'm speaking right now, the president is tweeting. As I'm speaking right now, the president is tweeting, saying something nefarious is going on. But again, what we have right now is we know that at this moment, Reverend Raphael Warnock is leading by over 35,000 votes, and the Purdue Ossoff Senate race is a virtual tie. But based on the number of outstanding votes, like I said, I'm going to call it. I'm calling both Senate seats for the Democrats, and I'm telling you here that my prediction, my call, is that the Democrats regain control of the Senate. So what I'm going to do, and by the way, I was going to celebrate no matter what. I was going to celebrate once this was behind us, because for me, this is an indication of the strength of our democracy. So I'm celebrating because I believe that we have a decisive result, and in a way, this is good for President-elect Biden, and in a way, it's kind of an interesting situation, because had there been a split Senate, President-elect Biden would have had to work that much harder to get the nominations done. He would have had to work that much harder to fight for nominations and to negotiate with, senators like Susan Collins from Maine. And by the way, Reverend Raphael Warnock is actually speaking right now. Give me a moment, everybody. I'm just going to increase. Reverend Raphael Warnock is actually speaking right now, but hold on. So Reverend Raphael Warnock is speaking right now, which is it's more or less a victory speech. But we have a situation, everyone, where an African American pastor and a young Jewish journalist, well, a relatively young Jewish journalist, are going to be the Democratic members of the United States Senate. And the Democrats have, have done some things here which allow them to. Again, let's get back to Biden for a second, President-elect Biden. With the Democrats in control of the Senate, President elect Biden will find it easier, not easy, but easier to pass his agenda because he still needs all the Democrats to support him. So he's not going to have to waste his time haggling and arguing and arguing with others to try and, someone like a Susan Collins or a Mitt Romney to get their votes. So this is in many ways a good thing for the country, but I can tell you that what has led me to a certain point in my life, and honestly what is going to lead you forward is your own self-reliance, regardless, honestly folks, regardless of who's in control of the House, who's in control of the Senate. I do believe that we need to take more charge for our own lives, and that's what I'm going to do for you in this channel. Now, what I was going to do and what I'm going to do now is my one of my favorite drinks is let's see if this can what I'm going to do is I'm going to just celebrate. Not again, I'm celebrating because, let's go. Let's make it a strong drink, guys. Here, make it a strong. All right, here. Make it a strong drink right here. And I have a can of Diet Coke. One of my favorite drinks is Malibu coconut rum and Diet Coke. That's my thing, guys. And this is a pretty stiff drink. Actually, the Malibu coconut rum isn't that strong, so it's not that strong of a drink, really, guys. So here you go. Um, you're joining me in the middle of the night as I have a drink to celebrate the Democrats regaining control of the Senate. Like I said, I'm calling this race because of the remaining votes outstanding. Now, let me be clear. Let me be clear. Hold on. Cheers to everyone. Let me be clear, guys. Are we going to see a lot of resistance from Republicans? Are we going to see a lot of resistance from President Trump? 100%, 100%. But I think that when you look at the margin for Reverend Raphael Warnock, it is projected to be more than 0.5% at the time I'm recording this. And even if the margin for Ossoff is less than 0.5%, and even if a recount is desired, and by the way, the Republican incumbents, Senator Kelly, well, she's no longer going to be a senator. The Republican incumbents, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue, can ask for a recount. They can do that, but unless the margin of victory is like 200 votes or 100 votes, the recount doesn't really make a big difference. If the margin of victory is going to be more than a few hundred votes, then a recount is just a symbolic thing. It's a way to get your supporters excited, and it's a way to freak people out, and it's a way to ask for donations. Everything in politics, I want you to remember, is about money, it's about timing, and it is about opportunity. This election and the fact that it's a stolen election is an excellent way to energize supporters and to ask for more donations and raise hundreds of millions of dollars. So, is it likely that we might see some people doing that? Sure, but I can tell you that the Democrats regaining control of the Senate is the blame is going to fall on President Trump. And although President Trump's influence is not going to go away, it's not like President Trump's influence is going to disappear. I can tell you that the president's influence on the Republican Party will start to decline now. And I can also conclusively tell you that people are going to start to blame the president, because the one thing in politics I want our viewers and subscribers to understand is it's not important what you've done, it's important what you've done for me lately. So I'm going to repeat that statement, okay? It's not important what you've done. In politics, what's important is what have you done for me lately. Because in politics, politicians, senators and congressmen, they have short-term memory. So what happens with the short-term memory that they have is that the Republicans, there will a lot of Republicans will be like, oh no, we lost the presidency, we lost the Senate, and and of course President Trump will have his point of view, which is that this happened and that happened and nefarious stuff happened, but facts are facts. If the presidency is lost and the Senate is lost, then the answer to the question, what has President Trump done for me lately, the answer to that question is zip, nothing, unfortunately, for the president. So, again, I want to be clear. It's not like President Trump's going away anywhere. President Trump will continue to remain a strong force. He'll probably start his own network. He'll probably, I don't know, start a third political party, although I don't know how influential that'll be. Because keep in mind, we have two political parties, and, I. What does a third political party stand for other than we don't like the first two parties? So all this talk about the president starting his own party, sure, the president can do what he wants. I don't know. The president can start a reality show. The president can sell hamburgers. He can sell steak. He has sold steak in the past. He can do what he wants. The point here is politically, the political capital, the political collateral is declining. And after we get through the drama and the shenanigans that are going to take place in the next 24 hours and the nonsense that is going to go on when it comes to challenging the electoral college certification process, I think when the dust settles, a lot of Republicans, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who, by the way, will no longer be the Senate Majority Leader. So the Senate Majority Leader will most likely be Chuck Schumer or possibly Joe Manchin. I don't know. We'll have to see. But now I have to stop saying Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell because it just rolls off my tongue so quickly. But now Mitch McConnell and John Thune will be like, huh. And then, they'll say that, oh, President Trump made us more divided. It cost us this, it cost us that. So this sort of polarization in our politics has to go down, will go down. And I think we're going to see a situation where hopefully the two sides start to work together. I am an optimist and I do believe that both sides will start to work together more and more. And in an ironic sort of way, this democratic control of the Senate makes it a little less likely that we'll work together because now President-elect Biden is like, I don't need the Republicans, I can do what I want. But had he needed the Republicans, if let's say those 17,000 votes that are outstanding, those 17,000 outstanding overseas ballots that are due on Friday, if every single one goes to the Republicans and something changes for John Ossoff, then then it becomes more important for President Biden to get the Republicans on his side, reach across the aisle. Which at the end of the day, the best decisions are made when they're bipartisan, not when one party just jams things through. So, in I would say that at this point, it's fair to say that Reverend Warnock's lead is sufficient. And as far as Ossoff is concerned, it will be sufficient when the remaining votes come in. And we'll expect to know definitively by lunchtime tomorrow. But I'm calling it. Right? So I'm calling it. That's what I'm doing. This is my channel. I'm calling it. Right? But will we see recounts? Yes. Will we see the president saying there's something nefarious going on? He's already doing that. Will we see conspiracy theorists say, oh, how did this happen? Yes, we will. But life will go on. The political priorities will get realigned because that's what happens in politics. Again, in politics, nobody is loyal in politics forever. Nobody. Well, you might be if you're watching. Good for you. But guess what? The senators aren't. The congressmen and congresswomen aren't. Their loyalties change quickly. So you can, remain loyal to President Biden till the end. You can remain loyal to President Trump till the end. Guess what? The senators and the congressmen and the congresswomen don't care. They know where their loyalties lie based on what has been done for them lately. And what has been done lately is President Trump's $2,000 stimulus checks. Didn't happen, unfortunately. Unfortunately for the president, unfortunately for us. What they know is that the president's bid to win re-election didn't happen. What they know is that the president's rally to help Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue retain control of the Senate didn't happen because I'm calling the election. It didn't happen. Therefore, what has President Trump done for you lately? Nothing. So that is where things stand, everybody. Unfortunately, like I said, unfortunately, if you're a President Trump supporter, if you're a Republican, that's what the story is. But even though at the time I'm recording this video, Purdue Ossoff is a virtual tie, even though at the point I'm recording this video, the results haven't been called by the major networks, I'm calling it. The Democrats now control the United States Senate, and that is where things stand. So, cheers to everyone. And President Trump, as I'm speaking here, is tweeting a bunch of things. But folks, that's what's going on right now. I appreciate you, and if you folks have any questions, what I'll do is I'll quickly check out the comments, everyone, real quick, and see if any of you have any comments. So let me super quick check out the comments, everyone, and see if anyone has any comments. And then what I'll do is, I'll I will call it a day, because this is folks, this is a turning point, everyone, in the history of our country. I can tell you that. I can tell you that individuals all over the world, when they look when they look at our system, when they look at what happens in the country, they are like, wow, they marvel at what happens in our country, because even though this is tense, I believe this is what makes our country great. And there are some votes still remaining, but like I said, I'm going to go ahead and call it, and that is where things stand right now. Okay, guys, cheers, everyone. I appreciate you. I care for you. This channel is about the country, the economy, and money. And democratic control of the Senate means $2,000 stimulus checks are highly likely to happen. It means $15 minimum wage is highly likely to happen. It means that the decriminalization of marijuana, in case you love marijuana, is likely to happen. And it means a whole bunch of other things. Throughout the history of our country, the country has swung one way and then swung the other way. It has swung one way and then the other way. Remember, we had George Bush, who's a Republican, then we had President Barack Obama, then we had President Donald Trump, who's a Republican, and now we are swinging the other way, not just with the presidency, but also with the control of the Senate. This is just, folks, this is the ebb and flow of politics. Don't freak out and think this is the end. I see some people like, let's storm the Capitol and there'll be civil war. Guys, life goes on. You can freak out. That's okay, but don't, because life goes on, and this is the way things are. And again, in politics, it's all about what have you done for me lately. And unfortunately, when the Republicans do an autopsy of this situation and they ask themselves, what has President Trump done for me lately? I think the answers will be, not very flattering, unfortunately. And that is where things stand right now. The results will officially be called by the major networks in the coming days and hours. And like I said, there are 17,000 absentee ballots, overseas, 17,000 outstanding overseas ballots that are due on Friday. But there is enough information now to call the race. There are many interesting things emerging, everyone. I think the domination, suburban domination by the Democrats is very concerning for Republicans. African Americans have turned out in huge numbers for the Democrats. The ground game from Stacey Abrams, which has been many years in the making, has worked well for Democrats. The importance of a ground game cannot be overstated. I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. I'm reporting the news as I see it. I've voted for Democrats. I've voted for Republicans. I've voted for both. And to be completely honest and to be blatantly honest, since you're wondering whether I'm a Democrat or Republican, the Republican tax policies have allowed me to make much more money with all my investments, with all my businesses, with all my real estate. Under a Democratic president, I will pay more taxes. Okay, but the Democrats will end up helping individuals who need it the most. And guess what? I mean, if I have to pay more taxes, that's okay. I don't mind. I'm not complaining. I have multiple businesses, I have multiple real estate investments, and this, that, and the other. If those who need help the most get it, then they should, because if there's one thing this horrible pandemic has taught us, again, I don't care whether you're a supporter of the president. You're the only one who cares. I don't care. You're the only one who cares. If there's one thing this pandemic has taught us, it has taught us that those who need help the most have been left behind. It has taught us that those in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality have been left behind. It has taught us that some of us who are the most vulnerable with the least amount of savings, more African Americans, more Hispanic individuals, have been left behind. And that is a reality, and that's unfortunate. One of my best friends, a 42-year-old guy, who, like I said, looked like Dwayne Johnson. I mentioned this in a previous video. Just the strongest guy in the world. Like, I'm 6 feet 2 inches. That guy is 5 feet 2, and if that guy wanted, he could pick me up with one hand and body slam me. He died. He died of COVID. Just 3 weeks ago, he was diagnosed. He was in California. It was a week later he was in hospital. The next week he was gone. So this is deadly. This is not a joke. And so the reason I brought this up is, if there's 1% of you who believe this isn't true, well, I got news for you. You're wrong. So my point is, unfortunately, we live in a world where some of us have already made up our mind. And although I'm not here to help you change your mind. I'm here to give you facts. I'm here to tell you the truth wherever it might lead us, even if you don't like it. You don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. So that's where things stand right now, everybody. And we still have some votes to come in. And right now I'm showing that John Ossoff, I believe, let's see, I'm showing that David Perdue is only 900 votes ahead right now, but Reverend Raphael Warnock, is ahead by close to, what is it, 45,000, for about 38,000 votes. But in the end, this isn't about the vote counting. This is about the trends. Democrats won more suburban voters than Republicans. Are going to be pretty upset. Okay, let's just back up, everybody. Let's back up. Everybody's like, oh, look at the icing on the cake. Let's look at the darned cake. The Georgia is a red state. It was never meant to be a squeaker. Not only is this a squeaker, both Democrats win in Georgia, because I'm calling it. This is my channel. Now, let's assume that for some reason we have, I don't know, John Ossoff loses because there's a surge of votes for the Republicans. It was still never meant to be a squeaker. It's still a problem for the Republican Party. It will still force an autopsy. It will still force a questioning of President Trump. That's a fact. And it's looking like they'll regain both seats. So the inexperienced mind will say, okay, this determines control of the Senate. That is what the inexperienced mind will say. The experienced observer will say, holy moly, this was not supposed to be such a nail biter. This was not supposed to be so tight. President Trump, who asked for the $2,000 stimulus checks, didn't get it. President Trump's NDAA veto was overridden by the United States Senate. Okay? President Trump held a rally in Georgia to help these senators win, and they did not win. And there have been other setbacks for the president as well. These aren't the only setbacks lately. I'm not talking about the past record, because there are good things and bad things that have been done by this administration, as with any administration. I want to be clear, there are many good things that have been done by the Trump administration, but there are many times when I listen to President Trump talking, I'm like, what? Did you just say that? Did you just say that? So the point here is not all of that, because, if you want to argue about that, be my guest. The point is, what has President Trump done for the Republican Party lately? And unfortunately, the answer is nothing. And in politics, there's something, it's not what have you done for me, it's what have you done for me lately. What the short term, they have short term memory. There is no loyalty as far as politicians are concerned. And that, my dear viewers and subscribers, is where things stand right now. I appreciate you. I thank you for watching. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video right here. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. On this channel, the Ignition Time channel, it's not important whether you're red or blue. For me, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm American. We are all Americans first. You'll get different types of information on this channel. You're not going to get the regular kinds of information. You're going to get information that's important to the country, because we do need to understand how the country works. That in turn impacts the economy, and by extension, this impacts our money. On this channel, you'll hear about the country, the economy, and about our money. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Please get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time, and send that to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to our SMS alerts list moving forward. You can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list going forward. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. Stay in touch with us via the SMS list or the email list. You'll get important news and alerts if you're on our SMS list and on our email list. So definitely make sure you stay in touch via SMS or via email. You'll also get information about any programs that we might release in the future. Now, keep in mind that YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. Sometimes YouTube sends out the notifications late. So all I ask you to do is simply go to youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to bookmark the homepage of our channel and then visit the homepage of our channel and watch the videos anytime you want. This way you're not dependent on notifications and you're not going to miss a single video, which is important. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So please follow us on Instagram. You'll get important information specifically for our Instagram community. Speaking of community, follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. It's the same handle as Instagram. You'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. One of the incredible things about the growth of our channel has been the growth of our community. I encourage you to comment below. You'll make some new friends. We are a bipartisan, we are an intelligent, we are a respectful, we are a growing community. So engage with our community. You might make some new friends. Also, please share this video with just 2 friends or family members. Just share this video with 2 friends or family members. That would mean a lot to me personally. As always, you'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. So make sure you check out our description section. And finally, please ignite the subscribe button. Please ignite the like button. I would really appreciate that, because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Don't forget to enable notifications so that YouTube does send you reminders when we release content. I'll do anything for a like. If you want, I'll do one of my dances. Now, I guess I'm an average dancer, but seriously, I would really appreciate it if you click the like button. Once again, please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me. If you click like, I get into party mode. And it's almost like there's confetti for me everywhere when you click the like button. I would really appreciate that. Guys, let me be completely honest. Just because some of us have started to get the $600 stimulus checks, it does not mean that it's raining money. What it means is, it's a lesson essentially for us that we should never, ever be dependent on the government again. And that is where I will lead you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks.